Welcome to my Raw review for London. Um, Pretty good Raw, 3 straight good Raws. Very impressed with it. It starts out with the first ever Ambrose Asylum, top show. I guess they're doing, and first guest host with Shane, because basically he let just for a storyline, let Dean have his own show and canceled the highlight reel, which is pretty cool, pretty funny. And then Kevin Owens interrupts, says some few things. Then Y2J does, and then Sami Zayn does. Then Shane says, "It looks like all you a little bit, heated, ready to, go at it or something." And he announces the 2 matches: Y2J versus Dean, and Sami versus Kevin Owens at Payback, which that will be very interesting. Great 2 matches that's going to be at Payback in 2 weeks from now, or less than 2 weeks now. And then from commercial break, it's Y2J versus Sami Zayn to start off the first match of the night. Very good match, but Y2J wins. It was a very good match. I'm not going to complain with Chris Jericho winning. I'm not going to complain. And then it's announced Enzo and Big Cass versus the Dudleys are next. And then backstage, AJ Styles has a interview, and then two people come up, and it's Gallows and Anderson, the Bullet Club. So they just have a good chat and all that. And quick, good backstage promo, you can say. I really did enjoy it, and it really did set up with things coming. So this interesting storyline I do like. And then the Enzo and Big Cass beat the Dudleys to go to the finals of the, sponsored by Bootios, the tag team tournament. And I am so glad that they are in the finals, even though I do love those damn Dudleys. Then you have a AJ Styles. No, Roman comes out first, but then AJ Styles comes out. So basically it's an AJ Styles and Roman promo. And then they go back and forth. Very good shit, promo-wise. It really was from both sides. And then after AJ leaves the ring, then you have Anderson and Gallows, the Bullet Club, attack Roman Reigns. This was a very good angle. This is going to make the storyline even interesting, because you never know if they are actually with AJ. I mean, it looks like they're with AJ. Looks like it's AJ's fault. But then at Payback, you never know, if they would turn on AJ and then side with Roman, and then have Finn come in then. Who knows? This storyline's very interesting, and I'm very intrigued with it. I think this AJ Styles Roman feud, if it's just going to be a little feud, even just for this next week or so, it very entertaining shit so far. Then you have Corbin versus Fandango. Who would have thought Fandango would have TV time? Well, only to Job. Then Ziggler is on commentary, and at one point Corbin throws Fandango into Ziggler, and then he kicks Ziggler once, gets Fandango in the ring, does the end of days 1, 2, 3, wins about 2 minutes, like I predicted. Then Ziggler goes after him and everything, and gets a little bit of him, and then Corbin gets the upper hand. And then they get outside of the ring, and Corbin does the end of days to him once again. And it looked like he almost lost him a little bit when he did the first swing, but it still looked pretty damn cool. But he might want to just slow down when he does it and make sure he does the move right. But it's making him look so dominant and look so impressive. I'm fine with it. And Corbin's just looking like a damn monster. And they are doing his few weeks to debut very good. Then you had Miz TV. I don't know who was supposed to be the guest of Miz TV, but all he did was talk, and then Maurice did. It was good stuff and everything. I just didn't get if there was supposed to be someone come out with them, but they were kissing. He said, "Let's do it some more," all that, and I mean, who wouldn't? You know, I mean, the Miz is a lucky dude, and I mean and then I'm like, man, Cesaro's got to come out, because the segment was going just a little bit too long in my pleasure. And then Cesaro comes out looking like James Bond. I love his new entrance. And he just comes out, talks. This is a very good promo between all of them. The crowd was just chanting boring to The Miz. And The Miz just gets so much heat. I really do enjoy him and Maurice together. And Cesaro gets a big pop every time. And the stuff he was saying, Cesaro's gotten better on the mic. That is for sure. And then The Miz says, "But you know you have a match." And I said, it's with this guy. And Rusev comes out. And then the two other dudes, Sheamus and Alberto Del Rio, comes out with them and says, "Well, maybe you didn't get the memo, but I went to Shane McMahon. It's going to be the League of Nations and The Miz versus, of course, me and these people." And he rips his shirt out, and it has videos. New Day. The New Day rocks. And that segment just went fluent, so good, went so smooth, and the crowd went crazy for the New Day, like every crowd does. But this crowd was way over. The New Day was way, way, way over with London. And sweet, so we have an 8-man tag. And Cesaro with the New Day wins this matchup in a pretty good tag team match. 8-man tag. Then you have a Charlotte interview with Ric Flair with MR. And I'm so glad to see him on screen, even if I believe it was because Renee Young could not go overseas or something because of her visa or something. But then Natty comes in and at the end and says that Shane has announced that it'll be her and Charlotte at Payback. And Charlotte says it's the same old stuff. It's going to be the same outcome. But then Natty says, but Bret Hart's going to be in my corner this time. And so you're going to have a repeat of NXT when they had their title match. But thank you, Shane. Even up the odds, and it's about time they even up the odds when it comes to Ric Flair and all that. Honestly, I love Ric Flair, dirtiest player in the game, but man, I'm so glad someone's at least in the corner, or he would be panned. But I'm just so glad. Then you had those awful Usos versus the Vaudevillains. I was watching my Dallas Mavericks play. I was flipping back and forth because the game was very damn close. I did not watch this match, but when I hit previous on the remote and saw the Vaudevillains won, I was so damn glad because I hate the Usos. The Usos fucking suck. Bring the Young Bucks in WWE. Replace the Usos. But don't get me wrong, I like the Usos as a person. Their tag team, they need to refresh themselves. But Vaudevillains go, and they are in the finals and will face Enzo Amore and Big Cass at Payback to see who is the number one contender for the New Day's Championship, I believe. Well, it might be on next week on Raw, but I think they did say it was on Payback. Not sure. Don't trust me on that one. Then you had Apollo Crews versus Heath Slater. Did not watch this match either, because I was watching my Mavericks play. They were still on queue. And after the Mavericks won, thank God, I did turn it over, and it had Apollo Crews winning. So, yeah, these two, the Usos, Vaudevillains, and Crews and Slater, I could care less for. Because Apollo Crews, I've said he needs to be up there with the big dogs wrestling, or someone that can make him go over easily. Like, very good known wrestler. Then you had the main event, Dean Ambrose versus Kevin Owens. This match was damn good, pretty good main event. And Dean, the way they finished this match, Kevin Owens was going to the turnbuckle, like running into it to go onto Dean, misses him. Dean does like a roll up, but rolls him all the way, and then Kevin Owens gets up, and Dean is right there to do dirty deeds. 1, 2, 3. Dean Ambrose wins in this main event. Sends the crowd home happy in the main event. But Chris Jericho comes out the end and does a code breaker on Dean Ambrose to end Monday Night Raw. Very good Raw. I would give this Raw a B. I did enjoy it. Thumbs up. Big time. Please look at my polls I've got in my favorites / likes. I do not like to call them likes on Twitter, but they are in my likes, my polls. I had 2 questions. Did you enjoy Raw, and what would your grade be? I've got those polls right there, and I've got some questions for after Raw review questions right here at VERMA1NISHANT. Please follow this person. They are a great follower, and I love his questions. A lot of questions, but I love them. What profits Apollo Crews for feuding with the Social Outcasts? Fucking nothing. I hope they do not have this little feud to Payback. But if they do, and then he gets someone else better after Payback, then I'll be okay with it. But I wish he would feud with someone else. Second question: why is Sami Zayn losing after great performances? Yes, he is doing great performances on Raw and matches, but he might get his at Payback against Kevin Owens. You never know. If he does, then that's going to make up for the losses on Raw. When will we see Paige back in the Women's Championship picture? I'm not sure. I've heard she's had some backstage heat a little bit. She's taken Lana's spot, it seems. I don't know what I heard something about her backstage heat, but I don't know what it is. But I do hope it is soon, because tonight, I know it was in London, but the crowd is always hot for her anywhere, really. She's like that women's wrestler, she's really good, and I hope she gets back in there a little bit here in a month or so. If Dean beats Y2J at Payback, does his momentum come back? Yes, his momentum is not totally gone, but it would help if he does win at Payback. Will Gallows and Anderson turn on AJ and team up with Finn Balor? That would be the best possibility. I would predict that. I would actually predict that, and maybe even team up with Finn Balor and Roman Reigns. But who knows what this is going to go into, or what's going to happen. What's next for the Usos? I hope they leave WWE. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I would not wish that for them, even though I would like it. I don't know. It would be what I would do for them next is get that stupid ass dance off every time they come out, and I don't know, I just turn them heel and see how they do then. Maybe they'd be better. Maybe I'd like them better. When will we see KO versus Apollo Crews? That's a good question. You know, that would be the feud I would like to see next for Apollo Crews. I really would. When will the Dudleys ever be back in the title picture? I don't know. It depends what happens. But I could see them feuding with Enzo Amore and Big Cass here in the next few months. But maybe next year WrestleMania, I'm not sure if they would. His last question: what team is the most wiser choice to face the New Day? Well, since the New Day are now faces, it would be the Vaudevillains because I think they're heel. Maybe, I'm not sure. I haven't seen their matches here, but I would say the Vaudevillains because they are heel, I believe, and babyface versus babyface really doesn't work, but I would love to see that match. Renee's Ambrose, am I awesome? Yes, you are awesome. You follow me, and when the things you want me to, tag you in, I really hope one of these days one of your idols or someone like that follows you, like Natty or Mojo or anybody, something like that. Any wrestler or anybody. I hope they do follow you here soon. My last question from Axel Brooks GTS. My thoughts on Curtis Axel. I'm not a big fan of his. Not really. I'm not a big fan of his. I don't know. I'm not big on him, but I do like him as a person. I think he's a great person, but I think he's better as a singles wrestler by himself and not with like a tag team or something like that. I don't know. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share it on Twitter, any social media thing, if you can, please, for me. If you haven't subscribed, please tell people to subscribe if you have. If you don't, time to subscribe. Like I said, I appreciate all this, and this has been my Raw review from London. On Friday, it'll be my 11th edition of Team Lesnar Wrestling Show. You can ask me questions by tweeting me or direct message me at team__Lesnar, and I will see you guys next time.